Hello, dragons! It's Thursday afternoon. This is Araya here, the Dragon Lady Live. Hope you're having a great solstice. It is summer solstice, winter solstice for you guys in the southern hemisphere. And wow, what a powerhouse energy today! Man, oh man, there's some really big stuff happening globally. You guys have been seeing it in the skies. You've been seeing it in the planet over the last couple of months since March when the event kicked off. And whew, there's a series, I'm being shown a series of activations globally that are going to start happening, that I'm going to start doing trips around the world, taking small groups, and the first one is going to be kicking off. I'm actually just going to be a part of a group leading ceremony in Egypt this fall, and South Africa will be the first one that I am putting together at the end of that. But that said, those coming up, that's down the road, that's all going to reveal. But the kickoff to that was a beautiful ceremony today, very powerhouse, and from my side of it, a big activation that happened for the white dragon male who's up in Northern Europe. And man, if you haven't felt the energies of this solstice, woohoo, lots going on. What I felt coming over the week, I actually did a 10-day cleansing fast to prepare for it. And I'm so glad I did, because when you do that, your body gets really light, your vibration gets really high. Hi, Lori. Hi, let's see. Jen, good to see you guys. When you do that, your body gets really clear, your vibration gets really high, and I tend to find that my meditations are deeper, I get a lot more information come through, and things just align. Like, I actually spent the morning for a couple hours getting crystal clear on the trines around the globe being created with the larger activations that I'm going to be doing, starting with Egypt and South Africa. But this one today was led by Joanne Dunn, one of our beautiful dragon clan. She is in Scotland. She is in Aberdeenshire specifically, and she held a meditation circle in the Breemy Stone Circle there. And if you look it up on Google Earth, it comes up as Breemy, B-R-E-E-M-I-E, something or other. You can zoom into, it's like Breemy Yard or some business, and then you zoom in, you can actually see the stone circle. And ley line got activated that she felt responsible for and felt called to do. And this is why I keep encouraging you guys, if you are having any inkling or encouragement for things around you, around where you live, you're seeing dragons, feeling it. Got one from Bridget Harrington in Florida. She posted another one today. She finally realized there's 3 in her area, and she's sort of blown away and asked, what do I need to do with these? Do I need to activate them? I'm not sure. And you know, if you ask them, they'll tell you. But what I realized about an hour after I saw her message was, Bridget, you need to see if they form, look on the map of where they're located, pin them on a map, and see if they trine perfectly. Because when they trine perfectly, which they often do, hi Christina, there is a vortex of energy that's wanting to be activated in that place, and they're trying to mark it for you. And you're the one in the locality that can do it because of your dragon self. So take advantage of that. Try it. Don't be afraid. You can do it on your own. Hi, Tian Marie, and who else is here? Let's see. We've got a few other people. I can't see everybody, but I can see some comments. So anyway, with that, this is the piece. I'm responsible for some very big vortex and activation lines around the globe for the bigger alignments between hearts and haras and head amygdala wisdom centers in the dragons, and they connect to others around the planet in perfect trines, and they're huge trines, right? And that's where I'm being called because of who I am, and that's what my calling is and my task while I'm here, so to speak. You guys each have your own, and so when you feel that drawing, there's not enough activations that can be done. There's people doing activations all over the planet, in, you know, for angelic stuff, for all kinds of different ways of doing and being priestess stuff, and other star being pieces, and you know what? They're all valid. Because there's all these different portals, because we all hone from different places and bring specific energies in that are helping bring the planet up, right? We've got 5th dimensional energies available to us right now, and that's what this portal part of it was about. Stepping back to what I was saying before, coming up to this week, preparing on my fast, I really felt like this next 3 months between now and the next equinox in September, it's like a shedding, it's an opening time where as you walk through the portal today, Be ready to leave your skin behind. Shed that dragon skin. Grow into a new, bigger one. Step into your next bigger self. Just like snakes do, just like some other creatures do, little geckos. You can shed your skin and leave a whole bunch of stuff behind you that doesn't need to go forward with you. And that's what this opportunity today is about. The activation specifically, Joanne, such a beautiful soul, got her priestess dragon gear on, and she led a circle, and we were aligned from all over because the book club happened to be from Australia all the way to Mauritius, which is east of Madagascar, east of Africa, if you don't know your geography well. And then from the UK down to Spain to Canada, the US, we spiderweb the globe. And that's what all your individual activations are about. Because all these things happening around the planet, nobody's double doing. There's more energy that can be added to lines, more clearing that can happen, more densities that can be cleared. How many times do you clear energy lines in your own body? And then there's more densities, more rises. Because as you clear it, more can filter out to be fleshed out, right? So every time somebody else goes in and clears those lines, it's equally as valid and equally as helpful. And there are, okay, the big ley lines, the big network. How does a spider build a web? She builds these great big things to work on, the framework, right? And then she starts filling in all of the little lines and intricacies in between. And that's what the whole global aspect of our dragon family needs to do. So wherever you are, if you're feeling drawn, even in your backyard, you've got a dragon out there and you feel like there might be some kind of a ley line or something to activate, ask your dragon. Maybe there's a hidden portal underground or a cave underground you don't know about, and there's dragon eggs stashed. Or maybe there's dragons ready to be freed. I know that happened today too. Joanne was feeling about 700 or so different dragons in the space underneath the stone circle. And this is big for you guys in the UK. If you have stone circles in your areas elsewhere in the world, we're not as familiar with them because the UK is really known for that. But anybody who lives or travels near the stone circles, I guarantee you there's probably a stash of dragons either under the circle itself or in the vicinity, and you need to feel around and see where the doorway is to let it out. And awesome, Christina, great you're feeling them. That is such a beautiful step to start feeling them. So what else happened today? We had the male white dragon. That's, I don't know if Joanne picked up on that, but that was what happened specifically with me. I was holding space for the entire group with some of the archangels, Metatron and Michael and Melchizedek, and some others who hold space for these types of things. And I felt an immediate pyramid be formed around the stone circle itself. I saw the four corners immediately around it with the stone circle in the center, creating the four-sided pyramidal Merkaba that goes also equally underground, right? And through that, the four elementals came in, weaved through it, holding space. The black and whites came through, and then the crystalline came through, and that energy shot straight up into the heavens and straight down. And that was separate from what Joanne was focused on. The group was focused on sending the earth and fire dragons out to the Great Pyramid in Giza, the King's Pyramid, and activating and cleansing all the energy through the pyramids. And from there, that happens to be the womb of the female black dragon in Africa. So we've got the white dragon Hara, the black dragon female womb, trining up together to the center star in the belt of Orion. Powerhouse, saw it happen. It is done. Very exciting. And that is a ley line. That is a foundation for the work that's going to be coming later in Egypt and beyond, as far as the dragon energy starting to go up and activate through the doorways of Orion to bring even higher frequency energies than the 5D in from the Sirius and Arcturian star systems beyond them. So wow, big stuff happening. Sounds a little crazy. I always focused on just the dragons, but now we're getting into the bigger stuff. Some of that stuff is in the book if you've read it. If you haven't, I would encourage you to. So really, really exciting. And we had so much come in the last week with people activating and realizing their gifts. This beautiful soul in the book club from Australia actually had in her meditations a downloading and coding of specific light language glyphs. She had light codes come through that she translated and shared with us in a perfect thing of 7, which I felt, this wasn't described, but I felt as I worked with each one that it went up my chakra system, and then it opened a portal that you can step through in your heart into the 5D New Earth. to experience that realm. So I hope she shares it with the group at some point. I will encourage her to, for those of you that might want to go into that energy and experience it. Anyway, with our dragons, we've had some great questions this week from some readers. And so I'm just going to respond to those because I told her I would. I know they're going to benefit more than one when I do it this way. So first question she had is, can you have a dragon in the heart and spine? So I've described before, when you're feeling, a lot of people get back pain, especially right between the shoulder blades or in the lower back, right in the hip, pelvic area. And typically, if that comes on unexpectedly or it lasts, some people have it for like 2 years and they don't realize what it is. Others have it for a few months and then they start getting some healing work, some massage work, and if they get the right therapist or healer, they're going to have someone share with them, you know what, these are dragon wings trying to come out, or this is a dragon tail trying to expand out. And that's how my introduction to the dragons happened, with someone on my table and these wings trying to work out. That pain, once that gets released, once you feel them come out, will actually subside immediately. The physical pain goes away. And so I actually was going through that in the last 6 or 7 days. And what I realized, I'm sort of realizing just now, it's totally gone now. And I think what it was is part of me shedding some more pieces of not stepping in the past fully into the largeness of my dragon wings, and now letting them, it's like they were getting ready to, like building the anchors between my back, because there was just this pressure in my back, especially sleeping for the last probably 6 days. And I feel like now that we've gone through the portal, I left that pressure behind. And I felt my wings actually in the meditation this morning expand into their much bigger aspect. So I thought that was interesting. But can you have one in the heart as well? And I would say absolutely, because if you look at the information of your dragon self actually connects to you and resides through the heart. This is different than the womb or the heart dragon that's written about in the book that every human experiences. But for those of you that are embodiers, the Dragonhearts, the DragonKeepers, you guys will feel like there's a dragon in your heart. And maybe it feels very small, maybe it feels like it's birthing, maybe you just feel a part of it, or you're just like, there's dragon energy in there. That is your bigger Dragonheart aspect starting to connect with you, starting to come through. So just pay attention to it, invite it in, sit with it. If it's a tiny baby, it's probably your Dragonheart coming through and trying to connect in a way that doesn't scare you, doesn't push you away, and that you can see, oh, that's interesting, that's in my heart. How do I expand that? How do I bring that out? And you can start talking to them just like you can with your womb heart dragon, your bigger dragon, your dragon guides. And so they're communicating with you in ways that you can hear them. Not everybody's going to hear through all the different centers. So if you are able to center in your heart very easily, you might very easily feel or sense it in the heart, because that's where they can reach you. That's your doorway. So great question. The second question this gal had, a dragon crystal in the heart space. So not only a dragon in the heart, but can you have a dragon crystal in the heart space? So I will share with you guys, because not everybody has been aware or went through what I talked about during the kickoff for the Dragonheart program this year. The symbol, if you go back and scroll down in the archives or look at some of the videos about the Dragonheart program, you'll go down and you'll see this diamond-shaped symbol with a core of fire. And the fire underneath it is just lighting up through 3 sets of triangles in a specific symbolic form. That is the Dragonheart. That crystalline core is your dragon core essence. That's what the Dragonheart looks like. Just like Gaia's heart, as described in the book, is a crystalline core with a heart of fire, so is yours if you are a Dragonheart or a Dragonkeeper. So yes, can there be a crystal dragon or a dragon crystal, actually is how she worded it, in the heart space? Absolutely. Your entire heart is actually made of crystal, if you be a Dragonheart or Dragonkeeper. So let's see, got a sting on the back of my right ankle when you said that. Interesting. So stepping into the path, your right side, your legs, your hips, your knees, your ankles, that's all about stepping forward into your physical path on this planet. What are you doing physically? Left side is spiritual path, unless you're left-handed, and then it can be reversed. But your dominant side is how you step into the world. So if I'm talking about your crystal Dragonheart and you're getting a ping in your right ankle, are you stepping fully into it? Are you really ready to live and walk that path in the world. And maybe you, because you're stepping into it right now, you're just starting to, that ping in the ankle is something lighting up going, where have you had resistance to that before? Because I'm still this little density sitting here needing to be addressed. And I'm going to come up for you as you try to step into that and try and block you and bring you fears and bring you little shutdowns. So just pay attention to that. Just see what comes up with that. And yes, there you go. Still afraid of people seeing me as crazy. You know what? I'm totally online with that. I lived it, Christina, exactly. And you can't talk about the creation of the Dragonheart symbol. Yeah, I'll get to that after the last question. Thanks, Chin. And remind me if I get sidetracked. But yes, so many of us are terrified to step into that. And a deep part of that fear is, for me, the core root of what kept me from doing it. I wrote the book 10 years ago. I'm finally living it now because I'm ready to go forward. And it wasn't until last November that I was brave enough and just had this internal, like, I can't stop anymore. It's got to come, and it's got to come now because of all this stuff that's unfolding that needs to be done now on the planet. And I just had this inkling the day before Thanksgiving to start this dragon group. And I'm so grateful that I did, because this is bringing the unfolding. And so, yeah, it's terrifying. Not only are you afraid of being called crazy, but, you know, in the past, most of us have memories, either as dragon or human, of being shackled, imprisoned, tortured, ostracized, stoned, burned at the stake, all those different experiences because we came out and were us. We were showing our magic, we were showing our power, we were showing our amazing capacity for insight and intuitive knowing, and whoosh, the world is terrified of that. The control centers are terrified of that because you know exactly what's going on in the undercurrents. So, that said, last question from this reader, which was awesome. Do Dragonhearts or Keepers experience the womb dragon differently? So, this reader was aware enough to notice that there's humans and then there's Dragonhearts and Dragonkeepers, because we're our first essence is dragon. So if all of us have a womb dragon, do we experience the womb dragon differently than a human would? And I'd say yes, in the sense that it's there, it's still a power center, but for those that aren't Dragonkeepers or Dragonhearts, they're going to have that as their main connection. That's going to be sort of their power center, their power connection to the dragons, where they get their information. That's sort of like the end of the line as far as that internal connection and activating that within them. For us, my Wimmerhard dragon is there almost as a way to kick in or show me parts of my path. It's like an internal gateway for me to the galactic center through the womb space with that dragon. And so I don't spend, she's there, I don't spend as much time with her as I've developed and connected really to my full dragon self. But I feel like she was the doorway connection for me to get to my dragon self, if that makes sense. So I do feel like we experience it in a different way, maybe a bigger way, if that makes sense. So I hope that answered the question. And I'll go back to Chien Marie's question on how did the Dragonheart symbol come about, because that was an incredible process. I kept seeing, as the winter rolled on after I started this group, I kept getting these visuals of this symbol that I would get up and I would try and draw it, and I was getting close, and it wasn't. It was started out like I thought it was the double star of David, which is that double tetrahedron. It's like a Merkabah that's different than the four-sided pyramid-based Merkabah. So it looks like a Star of David, but it's punched out in 3D. I kept starting with that, but I was like, this isn't quite right. This, you know, I'd get lines, I'd get a feel, and I knew that all of it was in a huge diamond. The diamond was the outside structure. And so I just kept sitting with it and sketching, and I had all these workings. And as I worked through my own process last year with my own coach, to move through my walls of resistance, my blocks and fears, to get clarity on my path and building my soul-based business forward, when I finally laid out and said, all right, Dragonheart program is on, I'm kicking it forward. Just before doing that, we had our retreat for that program I was a part of last year in January in Sedona, where the energies of the dragons are very prominent. I wasn't aware of that before. I know there's 5 different portals, vortices in Sedona. When we got there and I started experiencing dragons right away, saw 3 huge guardian dragons on the outline area, like giant in the cliffs and in the mountains. There are 3 really huge ones, and there are pictures in the archives way down in the scroll from January from that trip, and a video in the video archives about awakening 2 little brother dragons so that they were freed to go meet Mama Dragon. They had been trapped in the rocks there near Bell Rock for eons, and that was the first thing that called me to it and made me aware of the dragon energies there. Anyway, so on this retreat, we entered the house, and this house had dragon energy all over it. Beautiful double doors from Morocco, huge, and they're probably 5 feet wide and 6 feet tall, or 7 feet tall, of beautiful thick wooden doors, hand carved with a Sri Yantra on the front. Actually, it was Flower of Life on the front. The Sri Yantra was on the opposite door into the yoga studio across the hallway from the front door. And then on the back of this door, I closed the door and my jaw dropped and I went, oh my God, that's it. And I took everyone that was with me in the retreat group individually to where in my bedroom, because I didn't close that door until later that night when I went back out to the car for something. And look at it, I carried my bags and went right to picking a room, and I hung up my posters that I work on when I'm creating. I've got big, sort of like whiteboard posters, like big giant Post-its that I tape on the wall, and I doodle and do my things and pull pieces together because it's sort of like puzzle working. And I grabbed every single one of them and dragged them in. I said, look at the door and look at this. And they're like, oh my God, that's it. And so I had the finalization of the whole thing of the 3 triangles and how they're shaped with each other, and knew that the diamond shape was on the outside of it. And that's really how it came about, Tia Marie. So thank you. I loved sharing that. It is a powerful story for me, and it was just great inner confirmation and validation of what I was getting internally and trying to see. And this, I haven't seen this symbol anywhere else. It looks like a smaller part of the Sri Yantra, but I'm still waiting for that to come out, because I'm certain there's information about it somewhere else in the world that somebody's written stuff on that I can maybe read more from. But typically my whole system works in sort of reverse engineering, where the dragons will give me a full geometry and then backtrack to break it down, or they give me, this is where you're headed, you know, a year or 2 from now, and then they start breaking it down and show me the pieces that lead up to that. So yeah, that's how it works, and that's how the Dragonheart symbol came about. So hello, Queen Tamara, lovely to see you here. Awesome. I'm so glad that was a powerful symbol for you. Absolutely. I love sharing. And I'm so glad you guys are here to share with me. I know we've gone on a little bit longer today than normal, but I love talking with you guys and sharing this, especially in the solstice energy. So I hope you can feel it coming through my heart space, because I feel like I'm just still wide open from this morning's ceremony. And you can still tune into that. You know, when we work in ceremony, even if you can't align because of work or you're driving or whatever to a specific time that someone is doing ceremony, all of that energy work is outside of time and space. So you can go in and set your intention to go back energetically to 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time today, or 7:30 p.m. in the UK, whatever time that is for you, and actually just connect energetically, add your exponential Dragonheart fire to that line going and clearing. Because every single person, it doesn't like times it by 2 or times it by 3. It squares it, it cubes it, it does it to the 4th, does it to the 5th. So every person adding on makes it exponential, which is why small groups even coming together make things so powerful. So I appreciate you guys being here. I just love this group. I love my dragon family, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week. Although moving forward, there's going to be a lot of Thursdays this summer that I'm going to be off doing things because I have kiddies home for the summer. So I'm going to change the lives to Tuesday afternoons, and I will post this in the group so you know. You'll always get the replay if Thursdays are your day, but Tuesday afternoons about 3:15 when I'm done with my Dragonheart class on Tuesdays, so that I still get it in every week because I don't want to miss that, but I'm going to be gone a lot of Thursdays in a row, so we'll just be consistent for the summer months, and then we'll get back to Thursdays most likely. So I love you guys. Have a great solstice afternoon. Enjoy this beautiful weather wherever you are. At least I hope it's beautiful, because we're having an incredible hot day. So enjoy. Lots of love to you. Bye.